Welcome to the Deep 2 NBA podcast. I am co-host this week, Lucas, joined by Sean, who's always here. Sean, hello.
Lucas, how are you, Mr. Petridis man?
Yeah, I'm very good. Do we want to set the mood? Let listeners in behind the kimono or whatever you say about where we're recording right now.
We're recording in Lucas's front spare room of his house. Very echoey, so we apologise for any audio problems, but hopefully our beautiful editor Jamay has fixed it in post. What is this room? I feel like I've just introed your house. But
yeah, you have introed the house. You have done the old doxing, the sniper ball for doxing. This was the spare room, which is now turned into the full-time
spare room,
and it's turned into a full-time Olympia's bedroom for when we take care of her. So she's pretty spoiled. She does have a double bed, which is not common apparently for 1-year-olds, but she's got that. Also the new flooring, which is probably what the echo can be attributed to more than anything else. But would you also like to give the dimensions of the table we're recording on?
I feel like I'll take a photo so we can chuck this on. We can chuck this on the socials later. Yeah, so nice and pretty. People are going to be like, when they saw that story, they're going to say, "Oh, I know where it is." I didn't even take a photo of it, but it's a chair. It's a table that's. Look, I'm in the market for a table right now. I've been looking on the Facebook Marketplace, and I've been looking on the eBays. I've just been raw dog googling because I'm looking for a pub picnic table outside.
Oh yeah,
and this is about the bench width, as in the bench that you sit on.
But
yeah, it's imagine something that if you sat on with your bum, you would both be falling off backwards and forwards at the same time. That's the width. About as width as, what do we call that, an Elgin large chips?
I can tell you exactly what it is. So I've got a MacBook, a 13-inch MacBook, and it is falling off either side. And I reckon it goes... You could probably fit 3 of these back to back to back. These MacBooks lined up in a front line, second line, third line.
But we've actually got a pillow taking up half the space because we want to try and stop the echo, which we'll see if that works. Back to my story.
Yeah,
looking for a pub / picnic table.
Yeah, right? On the internet.
And I'm on the Facebook Marketplace, and I find this dude who makes custom ones, right? Because I want to find just a medium sized one. How good is that going to be underneath the vine, the fucking parolga?
A couple of these ones.
A couple of those ones as well. It's going to be fucking dangerous. Big enough to have dinner on, big enough to play cards on as well.
Forget about it. Now, sorry to jump in here. How often do you plan on cleaning this thing?
Is clean just put your arm on it and wipe?
Clean is... No, I'm thinking like a hot rag.
A hot rag?
Yeah.
I'll give you lukewarm at best and a spray of a multi-perf.
Okay.
Yeah? I can do that once a week if you want.
Yeah.
Is this going to be an issue?
Well, I think it's either an issue if you do it once a week. I think I either need to never do it or always do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like after the 1,000th place down of a beer, it's probably got its own slide. And I'm thinking of playing cards, just sliding cards as you deal with
them. Well, the cards would have a mat, of course, so they don't get damaged. I've got a Dark Magician Girl playmat, which is my prized possession.
Whoa!
By the way, it's fully legal because if you Google Dark Magician Girl, it says age unknown, appears 18 plus. So wow. Konami have made that canon. So
imagine being the person writing that,
on the Yu-Gi-Oh wiki. So look, let's say we have a big couple of. We have a couple of them. That's going to sound great on the mic. Yeah. Well, I'll clean it after every big weekend, bit of multi-perp.
Yeah.
That's what they do at pubs, isn't it? After every use.
Yeah. So you're thinking something with a bit of varnish.
So you can buy them now that I'm in the market. You can buy them with no varnish or varnish, right? And the cost of a varnish is pretty much how much it will cost you to go to Bunnings and fucking do it yourself.
Oh.
And it's these dudes are just going to. You're not paying much labour to get them to varnish it.
Oh,
they're obviously buying big quantities and they can just do it and make some money off it. But for me, who's going to buy a bucket of varnish that I never use again,
Yeah, get a bit of tartan paint while you're there.
I don't get it. Keep going.
Never mind. Listeners will know. Real hard yakka listeners will know. Can I be there for when we paint the varnish?
I just said I'm not going to.
I'm
going to get it painted. I'll get it pre-painted.
I'll do it, man.
Okay. Well, okay, fine. I'll do that because it costs like $40 less. But anyway, so I'm in the market for it. Looking for a table. I'm on Facebook Marketplace. I find this dude who's just like, because I don't want to fucking spiffy one. You can go to Bunnings and get one for $1,000, right?
Shout out to Bunnings, by the way.
Well, not really, because I'm looking at like the $300 range, and it's it's just a bit of wood with some nails.
Yeah.
Screws even, and then I'm looking at it. It looks good. I find this dude on Marketplace. I message him like he's clearly a business and he's just got it on Marketplace for people like me. I'm like, sick. Will it fit in my door? Because I don't want to buy it and have it sit out the front, right? Blah, blah, blah. Will it fit? Blah, blah, blah. Cool. Done. Sent. Hopefully they get back to me within a day. Scroll to the next one. This one looks good. All the photos are different. The person's name's different. And then I send the message, copy and paste the exact same message, change the dimensions by like 10 centimeters because 10 centimeters smaller. And then for some reason I'm like, that seems too similar. Like, I know all the pub picnic tables are the exact same, but that seems too similar. It's the exact same company that's just made lots of different company profiles with different names and just floods the marketplace with their own product.
Oh,
and here I am, the fool, copying and pasting my messages. But why should I be ashamed? He's copied and pasted his own messages for the world to see.
Yeah, well, I don't think you should be ashamed.
Okay.
I never thought that was in the question. Also, what goes into painting varnish on a pub table? Because I get a feeling it's just a big old paintbrush and just slapping away at it.
Well, if it's not, let us know at deep2podcast@gmail.com because that's what I'm going to do. Like, get some paintbrushes, get some varnish. Yeah. Maybe you do 2 coats. I don't know.
Maybe a couple beers while you're doing it.
Maybe to christen it, you pour beers and varnish it over. So it's always got a few of these ones in it.
That is coming up very loud.
Oh, when you laugh?
Yeah.
Nah, fuck it.
Keep the laughs to a minimum.
Yeah.
Listeners and hosts.
Well, you come to us for a very serious basketball chat, so how about we just don't make any jokes?
Yeah.
In a world where James Harden has been traded and it's very laughable and there's plenty of things we can make fun of him for, let's try and keep this to purely analysis because no one wants to laugh on their commute to work. That's a great segue. So speaking of, the James Harden trade reported by Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN. I'll give the particulars again, even though you've heard it, I'm sure, 2 days ago on the JVG tribute show, with Goo, also known as Angus, also known as Ryan. The Clippers got James Harden, PJ Tucker, and Philip Petrusev, who they moved to the Kings for cash. Philly get Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, Robert Covington, KJ Martin, a 2026 first round pick swap, unprotected 2028 first, and a 2028 pick swap. A few seconds, but who cares? The only way that they were able to do this and then get past the step-in rule was to include OKC in the trade, so technically this is a 3-way trade.
I usually just turn that off.
So OKC were owed the Clippers 2026 first round pick swap, but they got asked. They said, "Hey, we want to make this trade, and Daryl Morey wants an extra first round pick, and the only way we can do it is if we renegotiate with you." And I think let's start off on this because we love the finer details here, and this is going to be one of the smaller finer details, but. OKC has been approached. They said, hey, can we push our obligations of our own first round pick swap from 26 to 27? And without anything in return, OKC said yes. Do you think that's a good move by the Thunder to push the pick swap from 26 to 27?
They're doing the Sixers a favour in this? No, the Clippers.
They're doing themselves a favour. Do you think... they're doing the Clippers, but do you reckon are they slight winners just from the get-go?
Yeah. I think... Yeah, I mean, yeah. The thinking there is that the Clippers will be worse in 27 than in 26.
If they do tear it down, though, let's move on. So, the Clippers, are they a better team with James Harden as their point guard / shooting guard?
That's a great question. Because it's hard to argue against it. Because now they have optionality. And I feel like Ty Lue's the type of coach that'll be married to the idea of having to play both Westbrook and Harden. I think that the Clippers, quite clearly as an organisation, are married to the idea of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, which you, of course, obviously should be. But then I think Harden and Westbrook, like one of those two knows that they're the fourth guy.
Yeah.
And the fourth guard / wing in a team where they play... Actually, they sometimes play 5, but with that fifth guy being a wing that can play the big. But it has to make them better. I mean, for the cost of what they gave up, it has to make them better. and I feel like the players going out, I'm probably higher on than most people. Maybe I'm higher on them on a team that's got Embiid and Nurse as their coach. Or sorry, maybe that's why I'm thinking that. But the price for adding James Harden, the theoretical basketball player, is not that high.
Yeah, it's a little bit like the Bradley Beal trade where it's like, all of a sudden Phoenix have no point guards, but they've just got incredible talent. But I agree with you. I think Marcus Morris and Robert Covington are cooked, right? That's just consider them expiring contracts at $10 and $11 million each. I think like Marcus Morris was like 13. Nick Batum, I think he's obviously said before the season that he's retiring at the end of this year. I like him next to Joel Embiid. I like him as a small ball 5, and it's like, okay, well now you don't need to play B-ball Paul Reed. You can say, Nick Batum, like go for 5 minutes. I mean, Nick Nurse, like, is going to be playing Embiid and Maxey 40 plus minutes and that anyway. So it's like, how often are you going to see that? And yeah, KJ Martin, like I was like on the opening night pod, and even like before we did that pod together, I was really fucking high on KJ Martin coming to the Clippers just as like a free agent move. Yeah. And like wherever he goes, I think he's a great sixth. So like imagine like if he's your Gary Payton on a title contender. That's awesome. I think he's a very good role player. He's also probably licking his lips because now Philly, which we'll talk about, are going the free agency route, and they're going the cap space route. One of the reasons why they didn't want to pay Harden is because they wanted to preserve cap space for this upcoming off season. And if you're KJ Martin, you're sitting there, it's like, okay, go sign OG Anunoby. I don't give a fuck. But I'm a free agent as well. And he's gone from the Clippers, who are like paying, XYZ dollars of like the most money ever, and Steve Ballmer, to KJ Martin's in a situation where he can be a really solid playoff contributor, and he's going to be like, okay, well now I'm a free agent, and I just average 20 to 15 minutes for you in the playoffs. Give me more money than the Clippers would give. So at least a win for KJ Martin. But yeah, I agree with you and how you started your answer to my question. I think this makes the team better from just like a talent perspective. But can we like move Russell Westbrook or something? Like if it's James Harden, Terrence Mann, the wings, and then Zubac, whoever the 5 is, that's a better team than they were yesterday or 2 days ago. But if they're playing Westbrook as well, I mean, I didn't even like Westbrook with the 2 wings. And now you're bringing in James Harden, who has proven not to be a good off-the-ball shooter. It's a bit crowded.
Yeah. Westbrook has been productive, I feel like, with the Clippers. It's been his best stop since... Wait.
Okay, so...
Just the Lakers, actually. No, he was really good at the Rockets as their, like, 0.5.
As their 5, yeah. But that was also with 4 shooters around him. And, like, Kawhi isn't an off-the-catch guy. James Harden isn't an off-the-catch guy.
Yeah. And then he had that really good run with the Wizards post All-Star break. He averaged 23, 13, and 13. And, like, he was the issue. He was the reason we weren't winning games before the All-Star break. But then he was the reason we were winning them afterwards. And then the Lakers, I mean, that's well documented what happened there. So I feel like he's been better than advertised with the Clippers. And it doesn't really make sense as to why he has been. Like, being able to... I feel like he's probably put together like back-to-back 20-point games at different points. And like last playoffs, he was really good with them.
Yeah, in a losing effort. And they didn't have whoever it was.
But it was in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Somewhere Harden has never succeeded.
Well, he had one good game, 45-point win over Boston. But yeah, it's like... It's just... Fuck. There's just a lot of people.
They're obviously making a swing at the chip because... That's what they're doing as an organisation.
I will add that, and John Hollinger is quite connected to people. And John Hollinger said the day after the trade that the reason this happened a week into the season is because ownership saw how good Kawhi and PJ looked and said, okay, they've got another year. Like, we've got one more year to try and do this. Yeah. And I imagine he's saying that because whatever he does say is like slightly reporting. I'm going to like read between the lines.
Yeah.
I imagine he's saying that because the Clippers might have been thinking about tearing it down, maybe like sooner rather than later. And they saw that, okay, maybe like there is an ACL to go between these 2 wings. Maybe, okay, we're in it. Let's just push a little bit. That's why it wasn't done before the season. Continue as you were.
Yeah. Westbrook was good. Clippers want to push. And for that cost, I think this is the right move organisationally. Because they do get better. They don't not get better, like from this deal they do get better. But I think what I was trying to get at was like, or where I was trying to go was, can I see them winning the ring? And I think the answer is still no with this team. And I don't know if there's another move that they can make, you know? And like, if you're getting off of Westbrook, it's a getting off of Westbrook deal, not a bringing someone in deal. So I don't know if there's another move to make, but I feel like this team as it is isn't gunning for a ring.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're one of the top 10 teams when it comes to like who's your favourite to win the ring. They might be 10th, they might be 9th. Like, if they could move like... If they could just turn Russell Westbrook into like TJ McConnell and like a bad wing or something, if they could just like morph him into a dude who you know is just going to be a backup point guard, who's happy not dribbling, who's happy just shooting off the catch, if they could just turn him into a second Terrence Mann, it's just, it's like that might be better. But then also Harden has been bad in the playoffs. He hasn't looked as good as he's previously looked. And obviously in the off-season, he had all those comments where he's like, yeah, in free agency, I'm prioritising like just winning a scoring title again. I want to go back to what I was. And it's like, I don't know, you were just a second fiddle, 19-10. You looked fine doing it. Like you're 33 or whatever. It's clear that you are now a second option. And a bit like, I think I said this as soon as Westbrook went to the Clippers, every time he now being James Harden dribbles the ball, that's time that Paul George and Kawhi aren't dribbling the ball. But let's move on to the Philly side of things. They obviously got 2 expiring salaries in Rocco and Marcus Morris, and they just got some better things to move. Marco on the JVG show said that this is an L for Daryl Morey, but I think it's fine, because if their goal was to head into free agency, lowball James Harden, say, hey, we don't want to... Like, their goal is this current upcoming free agency crop, right? So they're heading into it saying, we don't want to give Harden too much money. If we do, it's going to be 1 year plus an option the following year, but a team option, so we control it. And if that's their goal, and then Harden's turned around and said, no, I'm not doing it, go fuck yous, I'm just going to do his thing where he sooks and gets out of his third situation, right? Fourth, is it? Yeah. He's on his fourth term, yeah. If
he does it, yeah.
And then you've been able to turn that into 3 tradable picks, and tradable picks that are like, a 2028 Clippers first. That's quite good, right? Yeah. You can now trade your own first in 29 or 30 or whatever they have available. They've got the salary without having to give up a big piece. That's not bad. And Danny LaRue said, like, when you look at the grand scheme of things, they've traded Ben Simmons and Seth Curry and Andre Drummond for... Did they give up? No, it was Brooklyn gave them 2 first-round picks. For
Harden for Simo.
Did Brooklyn get 2 first?
There's no way. There's
no way, because Simo
was dog water at that point.
But anyway, they turned Ben Simmons and 2 role players into a year and a half for James Harden, and then they've turned James Harden into... they had the rental of James Harden, and then turned him into these more first, which they might morph into Pascal Siakam. What was
the Nets received 2 picks?
The Nets received 2 picks. So Philly gave up Ben Simmons and 2 picks for a year and a half rental, 3 more tradable picks in the stuff they got from the Clippers, and we'll see what they do with that. Now they want to play the free agency game, and that's been like slowly reported through various avenues. Like, what are you thinking? Like, is there a free agent that can like fucking vault them into like true, top 3 title contention? So I'll say some of the names are OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, Klay Thompson, Drew Holiday. Do any of those guys like say, oh, okay, of course you're going to be a title contender once you get that guy?
From that list, Drew, I would say. I think OG. I want to just go back to one thing. I disagreed with Marco at the time, and I also think that Nick Nurse. I think that I must still be hanging on to something with Robert Covington, and I feel like if there is going to be the guy that gets that out of him, it's Nick Nurse. I think Batum will do like great at whatever that role is. 8th best player in a rotation. Yeah. I think he'll do...
I think it's called the French role.
Yeah. He'll do great in that limited role. Marcus Morris, of course.
Will not.
Probably enough to keep talking about him. And KJ Martin. I feel like if he had so much success as like an offensive rebounder and a cutter on the Rockets, he's going to do so much better in that role. Not only with Embiid and now Maxey, but I feel like that Raptors team that Nurse coached got a lot of buckets off of cutting as well. Now, and I feel like the two names that kind of piqued my interest from those free agents would be Anunoby and Holiday, but I don't know if Anunoby is going to impact winning. I feel like for where Philadelphia is, that's probably not something they want to find out. I feel like they'd want to bring someone in that has done it, quote unquote. I don't think that's going to be Clay anymore, especially beyond this season. Which kind of just leaves Drew, maybe DeRozan, but like DeRozan, I don't think you want more points. I think you want like a clamp.
Because they've got that max free agent cap space open, and they've got tradable salaries, they could just like bring in a max guy via trade. So I don't think free agent is the route as well. Like, does Zach LaVine tickle your fancy?
No.
And if you're Chicago, like, do you want 3 Clippers firsts?
No, you don't. Oh well, if you're Chicago, yeah. But if you don't, I don't think you want to bring in points. If you're the Sixers, like. Bring in a wing that's not Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
Maybe Tobias Harris can maybe do a little more,
Well, we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, but like a bigger guard or a wing that's like a gun defender. I don't know. I don't think you want to be looking at like someone that can drop you 30 because you have that guy.
Yeah.
You have 2 of them actually.
Yeah, it's quite grim, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it's an L. I think it might be like a slight passing grade, because where else was Harden going to go? Like, they can't just be like, oh, Minnesota give us Mike Conley and the first that wasn't traded in the Rudy Gobert trade, right? Like, they can't do that. He couldn't. There was no one else, and the fact that he was able to get 3 tradable picks and KJ Martin, both of these teams are going to need to probably beat the Denver Nuggets if they want to win an NBA championship. I don't think this trade makes either of them do it more. I just don't think it helps at all. I obviously PJ Tucker's a big body, but Embiid still doesn't have like a great helper at the 4 position to cover over if he just wants to defend the rim and then have someone just throw jabs at Jokic or something. Maybe that's not the play, but from the Clippers' point of view as well, I don't know if this helps the Clippers beat the other contenders. I think this might make them a better regular season team. I don't know how this helps them beat the teams they have to get past if they want to win a title, like the Golden State Warriors. What does James Harden do when you're trying to defend a Steph Curry pick and roll?
I think probably as teams were constructed, best case scenario for the Clippers against the Nuggets is probably a 4-2 loss. I think with Harden, it probably stays flat at a 4-2 loss. I would say Sixers, Nuggets, it'd probably be a sweep. But I reckon this trade gets the Sixers closer to winning 1 game than it does to get the Clippers winning from 2 to 3.
Yeah. Well, any final comments? I guess you had a lot of time to make your comments, but any final comments on this? I think I'm all James Harden out.
Yeah, I think I'm out. I'm out on Harden.
It's when you're like scrolling through Basketball Reference when you're like 16 years old and you're like bored at school, at least in my experience, and you're like fucking. You're talking to your mates and your basketball chat's just like, bro, Hakeem Olajuwon's so fucking good. Like, have a look at this Basketball Reference. He averaged 29. Fucking, and he got 4 assists as well, and in the 80s, and then you're like, oh, he played for fucking Toronto at the end. Oh, that's weird. Like Gary Payton, all those Supersonics years, and it's like, a couple of weird Lakey, what the fuck. James Harden is in his weird fuck off situation where when he retires, it's going to be like, man, he was a better shooting Allen Iverson. But right now we're living in the moment where it's like, oh, he actually doesn't really look great in a Nets jersey or any of the other jerseys that he's worn, really. It's like, oh, remember when he went to Philly and we were like, oh, he's the saviour, but he just turned out to be a worse Tyrese Maxey you can pass. We're in the weird 16-year-old talk about their Basketball Reference page.
Yeah.
All right, do you want to intro this new faces Sitch? Because I feel like you do the voice better.
Do you want to do a little bit of trivia before we do that?
Fucking oath, I do.
James Harden points average over his entire time in Houston.
I'm going to say like that. I reckon like his first season it was like 24, 25, and then by the end it was he had like a 35 year. Did he lead the league at 35? And it was like, what's he doing? Or was it 36? I'm gonna say
Talk me through it.
I'm gonna say his average was 29.
29.3. 29.3. I almost want to give him 30.
Did he have a 36 year?
He had a 36, a 34, and a 30.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah. His first season was actually 26, and then 25, 27.4, and 29, 29, 30. Jeez, he really put a lot of points up.
Do you want to do some trivia that I love asking and might not be great to listen to, but we'll try to do as fast as possible?
Go on.
All right, so the 2018 draft, I've just picked a random draft, right?
Okay.
You might remember this draft as DeAndre Ayton going first.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the list until you're out of answers?
Is 2 Marvin?
There's 2's Marvin, yeah.
3 and 5 are Luca and Trey.
Yeah.
You can pick whichever one you want. Triple J's 4.
Yeah.
I reckon that's where I can.
Yeah.
End it. Well, who had the 6th pick?
Orlando.
Jalen?
No.
No. Franz.
No. 2018.
2018.
Fuck, they've had some high picks Orlando. They've done nothing with them.
They've still got him?
Yeah. No, sorry, they don't.
Oh, John.
No. It's Mo Bamba.
Oh. Dude, I thought I had a light bulb moment. I was going to say Wendell Carter.
Wendell Carter went next
to the Bulls.
And they've got him.
Wow, I had no idea Mo Bamba was pick 6.
Yeah, well, remember his wingspan was like as big as that fucking bird? You know the one around the corner?
The pig.
So Wendell Carter, Colin Sexton, Kevin Knox, Mikal Bridges, Shai Gilgeous, Miles Bridges.
I would have got none of these.
Jerome Robinson.
Oh yeah, is it to the Wizards?
To the Clippers. Mike Porter Jr., Troy Brown Jr.
Yeah, there's the Wizards pick. No,
you might have made the playoffs that year because...
No, wait. Troy Brown. No, we picked... He started with us?
Yeah, you drafted him. Fuck, I just love going through the draft and just saying who. Yeah, and I won't ask any more questions because I don't think it's great listening. But yeah, what's this next section?
It's we're just doing it. There's as tends to happen after the off season. You got familiar faces in new places, and we're going to do a little report card of those familiar faces in new places. But you want me to say? Do you want me to just do the Ronaldo impersonation?
Yeah, and then I'll play the ad for the listeners at home.
The whole thing.
I'll just play the good bits.
Football takes me many places, hot places, cold places, exhilarating places, and other places. The Mount Rushmore of destinations.
New faces in cold places. You want to start off with probably the best face in the best place.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard and I've written Adrian Griffin in the Milwaukee Bucks. What are your thoughts in the first couple of games with Dame?
Really like it. I think the fit was there from the trade.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah, it's really good. I think it was definitely showcased in the first game more than any. I feel like they've kind of had like reverse growing pains.
Yeah,
where game one,
I feel exactly the same.
Yeah, game one they had a really great game against a really good opponent, and the amount of space they were creating for Dame, like it was just like the plays they were running for Dame. They got it. They set up the court in a way where he could come off a screen and just do anything. Like he could get any shot from outside the 3-point line or inside the 3-point line. I feel like he took like 1,000 short block middies from the right block. And I feel like you just want him to just like have the half court as a canvas when you're not getting in transition or you're not running a play for Giannis or Middleton. But yeah, I think we saw kind of the best of Adrian Griffin as well, and I just think it's gotten worse from there. But I don't know what you would credit that to.
Yeah, I guess the excitement of opening night, and then the growing pains happen after that because like Dame got 17 free throws on opening night, and it's like he hit a couple of shots, and there were all those moments where like everyone's sort of looking around. And Giannis, like I think I talked about it when we did our pod, where Giannis threw the ball to himself and then caught. No, that wasn't the real opening night. That was the League Pass opening night. So Giannis threw the ball and then didn't hit the ring and then caught it again, and all the Sixers complained. And Giannis is like, he does a thing where he looks around like, where the fuck's Chris Middleton? Like, someone needs to bail me the fuck out. Like, I've got tall people on me. And there's Dame just wide open. He's like, oh my God, that's the dude. He's like, I've just christened as this is his team. Here you go.
Yeah.
And he's banged a three. Like that. Those sort of growing pains are going to happen. Where Giannis is doing what he's done for the past 7 years. And then all of a sudden he's just like, oh, I can actually pass this. I can pass it to this dude on the catch. And unlike Chris Middleton, if the option isn't there, Chris Middleton's either going to shoot over them or say, all right, let's swing. Maybe Brook Lopez will have a fucking small guy on him. But you can kick it out to Damian Lillard, and if he gets closed out, he knows how to fucking dribble. And it is going to take a little while to do that. And I think it's pretty promising that like both these guys are still putting up fine numbers. And the numbers are only going to get better. It's not like it started bad and they're going to get better. It started awkward, but they're still getting what they're getting, and they're still winning basketball games. There was a loss to the Hawks, I think, which is like, okay, maybe that's the growing pain if we could turn it into an entity.
And the Raptors today.
Fuck. Yeah. Man, so many games on today. I was watching other shit.
Yeah, League Pass opening night.
League Pass day 4, they call it. I mean, you can tell me what you think about the growing pains, but I just want to say quickly, like, Malik Beasley was like one of the best shooters in the world in Utah, and it's like, fuck, anyone should trade for this guy. The Filipino Lakers did, and it's like, he's going to do numbers next to LeBron. Like we saw, the LeBron Cavs traded for Kyle Korver, and Kyle Korver's like getting the most open he's ever been open on his shots. Malik Beasley had like the Lakers slump, and then it's like, okay, well, had a Lakers slump, he was out of the rotation, but the Bucks got him, and the Bucks just know what to do with one-dimensional shooting guards. He's still fucking stinking the fucking basketball court up.
You think he's having a bad? He's shooting like shit. He shot 6 of 9 from 3 today.
Okay, well, again, didn't watch today's game. Well, he's shooting 35% from 3 this season.
Yeah. Have you checked Basketball Reference?
Yeah.
That'll update tomorrow.
Doesn't have today's game, which is crazy, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
I've been very, very shocked, I think is the right word, at how well Malik Beasley and Jay Crowder are moving.
Damn.
What?
I just said the complete opposite. Like, I'm just a little bit down.
Moving.
Yeah, okay.
I just feel like the way they're moving around the court, they got some, I don't know, some like...
Well, to be fair, Jay Crowder, I don't think I've ever seen him move this much. He is... Yeah. Jay Crowder's sort of like sliding up as the drive goes in, which you just see him sit in the corner.
Yeah. I gotta get the trainer's phone number for the Bucks. Today's game, it was kind of, I don't know if it was wire to wire, I'm not going to check the snake right now, but the Raptors were just humming, and like, I think this is probably the best game I've seen the Raptors play ever. Yeah. Like, anytime I tune into the Raptors, it's like a shot of Fred VanVleet shooting the ball halfway to the ceiling, and then cannoning in off the back of the rim. But today, everything was just clicking for them. I think that the Bucks caught them on the wrong night. I didn't see the Hawks game, but I saw opening night and the other one. They're all blending into one game now. I can't fucking...
League Pass opening night, League Pass day 4.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. But I think that the Bucks are just... It'll be like boom bust, and then by the end of the season, I think they'll be firmly the contender right there with Boston as the two like... Not like teams to beat in the East, but like teams you won't beat in the East. I'm
still just like, the Bucks are my title pick, and I think I said that on opening night. You're getting a bloody call, mate.
Yeah, cheese.
But I just don't know how Boston stops the best teams in the playoffs. Because Chris Porzingis had a fucking incredible time with the Washington Wizards, and it's like, oh, he's finally back. But I just don't know what he does when he gets thrown into a pick and roll and he has to drop. Damian Lillard's there. It's like, I'm just going to trust Damian Lillard to go through him the whole entire time. And Giannis is just a better basketball player. Like, Damian Lillard's going to shoot over him. Giannis is going to shoot around him. I really like this Bucks team.
Speaking of Kristaps and the Boston Celtics and the Washington Wizards, did you happen to catch... Holy fuckamoly. Did you see how many points the Celtics scored today?
155? No, I didn't watch it. Because, it's so young in the season. I'm trying to watch teams that are like fully whole, fully healthy. So as soon as I saw Tyrese was there, I'm like, I'm not really going to learn much about this team by watching them.
That's insane. I'll probably have to watch a bit of that game tonight. But did you see Celtics Wizards? Correct answer. I did. I think this is the first time I've ever watched a basketball game, and within the first possession, you know who's going to win.
Yeah.
It was like genuinely like they were playing like 3 divisions down. We didn't have Gaff. Denny or Kuz started at the 5.
You're quite dog shit without Gaff. Like, he's actually like such a passable defensive centre, and as soon as you lose him,
not only that, he's holding everything together. He is the definition of like an anchor, like a defensive anchor. And we crumbled. Wes went to like the let's go small ball, let's play wings and try and run, but like none of the players were ready to play those roles. And it kind of seemed like we were two seasons of chemistry away from being able to play Denny or Kuz at the 5. Gallinari's really loved that role. We probably can stop talking about the Wizards though. But I think my initial
new faces. How's Gallinari adjusting?
It's like so well.
Hearing you talk,
you got a bit of something going on.
I know. I popped a pimple on air, but it's one of those pimples that I popped yesterday, and now it's in such a dog shit spot.
Yeah,
we'll take a photo and put that on the story as well.
Yeah, it's a fucking heavy story. The only thing I was like, I've never seen a basketball game be finished within the first minute. That's what that was yesterday.
Now that you mentioned Daniel Gafford, and it's like, I've just sort of like, I've only ever thought of him like, he's on your basketball team, he's going to be there forever, but he doesn't have to be. He would be very good for the Memphis Grizzlies right now.
Yeah.
And then like, if you just take back Steven Adams and like a shitty pick.
Yeah. Something I'm having to come to terms with this Wizards team, I actually love the roster 1 through like 7, and those are the guys that are going to get traded.
Yeah. And those are the guys that if you keep them for the next 5 years, they're not going to grow into a title team. Yeah,
man. Gaff, as much as I love him, I don't think he's improved at all since he's been at the team.
I don't think he's improved since Chicago. He came in as like a good player, and maybe he's gotten smarter.
Yeah.
But, he's
but
just a good player.
He has the same game every single game. It's a bit sad because you feel like he's got like potential to be like one of the best defensive centers in the league, and I feel like he's just kind of always going to be on the outside of that.
But he's also not going to average 15 points on lobs. Like he's not going to be better than just like the occasional offensive rebound and 1 lob a game. Right? Yeah, it's not like DeAndre Jordan in his prime where it's just like, you can just give this dude 15 points just on alley-oops. Like I feel if you give,
but also CP3's passing it to him.
I know, but I feel like if you give Gaff the best point guard in the league, he might not get that.
No, I think he would because he also loves getting him off the offensive rebound. Like there are a few possessions a game where he just like eats everyone. Like he'll just get from like the dashed part of the free throw line, and he'll just like take a step and dunk over the other team's 5, and it's like you could do that like a few more times a game.
But he's also so concerned about just getting the insta pick. That one dunk a game, it's just like posting this, swipe, there's D-Mog, swipe, there's him walking down the fucking corridor of Capital One.
Yeah, with half his face cut off.
We call it the cap. So another tall guy who's in a new place. Chet Holmgren. What are your thoughts on Chet's debut / games afterwards?
Well, Chet and Wemby. I feel like I'm very surprised by their patience in their early careers because Chet was the second pick in a pretty hyped up top 3 that might not have eventuated, or Jabari Smith might not have eventuated to the playout yet, but I don't think that those 3 would care about the outside perspective. But and then Wemby's been hyped for like 4 years now, at least 3. And in their debuts, Chet put up 7 shots in 25 minutes. So fully accepted his role and his
it's place on that team.
Yeah, his place on that team. And then Wemby put up 9 shots in 23. And they're just like, they've just kind of accepted a role on the team instead of being like, this is my show. People want to see what I have to show. Yeah. And I just don't feel like you see that. And especially Chet would have been watching every game from the bench. And Wemby would have been looking at the NBA like, I'm about to be the next star in the league. Yeah. And I just feel like both of them have been pretty similar in their early careers. And there's just you don't get that level of assurance that a player is going to be really good and like not in like a Paolo way where he can just get 25 a night. Like Chet and Wemby are going to be like defensive anchors, and they're going to be like versatile offensive weapons, and they're just so comfortable at their pace that they're building that. And I'm so happy that both of them are in the league.
I would say that they have they're not getting used as that superstar in offense, but they are being used as that superstar in defense. Like they are being used for their length, and like coaches, they might not be relying on them to post up, but they're relying on them to be that man in the middle. Less so Wemby because he's always playing with Zach Collins or a Charles Bassey, which is like, it's just what's going to happen in his rookie season because he's so skinny. But Chet, I've been really impressed with, because Wemby was always like, he can shoot, and like he's been very happy like jacking up threes, and like he has been a little bit too three happy. I think once he realizes that he's 7'4" and he can just dunk over everyone, he's going to realize that you can call for a pick and roll and throw an alley-oop, and you can actually just throw it over the defender's hands. But yeah, Chet's coming to this team, and the team's got expectations, and like people are picking this team to maybe dodge the play-in. And Chet's just been like, that's fine, I'm a floor spacer. Like, look at me a little bit like Brook Lopez. And when he does attack the ring, like it is him getting it because Shea's just made like a hole in the defense, or J-Dub's made a hole in the defense. Wemby's just sitting out there at the top of the three-point line. Not Wemby, Chet is just sitting there spacing. And then he gets the catch and he's like, all right, well, I'm going to attack because you've made a hole for me, and I'm more agile than the center, and then I'm tall enough just to like dunk over him. And it's like a brilliant role, and it's a role where he can just like keep exceeding, because all of a sudden that pass is going to keep coming a little bit earlier. I think he's had one post up this whole entire year. I think I heard that the other day, which is so fine. Like we saw him against Jonas Valanciunas today. And every rebound that went up, like JV just sort of grabbed him and was like, all right, well, I'm going to get this, right? Because you've said, like, my arms are bigger than a normal centre, let alone yours. It's also crazy to think that he's put on however much weight, Chet, because imagine how much he would have been fucked around last year. I just really like it. Like he sort of is playing that Brook Lopez role where he's not asked to create. Brook Lopez gets the occasional post up. But dudes are just stronger than them, both of these guys, Wemby and Chet. I think the coaches realise that, and that's why they're not calling for them too much to actually create by themselves. Like you said, it's just great. It's great to see him in there. Also, Chet, someone talked about this on a pod I was listening to, but he gets a lot of blocks and keeps them in. Like, I don't think he's swatted one out, and his blocks are the ones where his arms are up and they come down because he sees the ball, and then it rolls off the attacking player's leg, and all of a sudden one of his teammates picks it up. Also good that Chet has Shea with him, because Shea just warps defenses. Wemby has, who's the Polish cunt playing the center, playing the point guard, and then Trey.
The Polish?
Yeah. Sohan, yeah.
He's not Polish.
What is he?
He's British.
British Polish.
Oh, shit.
I bet you a fat handshake. He's Polish.
I bet you he's British.
He's got a British accent.
Polish-American basketball player.
Wemby doesn't have anyone like cracking.
He was raised in England.
Yeah, he's got a very British accent.
Yeah.
Wemby doesn't have someone to like break down the defense to then catch it and then attack, and there's holes in the defense. When he gets the ball, it's like, oh, quick, you're 7'4", can you please throw this like really hard at the rim, or just jump towards the rim? Different situations, but when are they playing? That's going to be a fun one, because then that's going to be a time where the coach is like, maybe we will go for a post up here, because
do they have 4 games a season?
3 minimum 2 or 3.
Minimum 3. They got 4 games. They must be in the same. Texas, Oklahoma.
No. Oklahoma's with Denver and Minnesota.
Because they were Seattle.
Northwest. Yeah.
They've already. Oh no, sorry. They've got 3 games this year.
Yeah.
1 was in pre-season. First game is Wednesday, the 15th of November. Mark that in your calendars. Jonas Valanciunas against Chet today. I feel like JV was like. It wasn't even like, I'm bigger and stronger than this guy. It looked like he was like, I've been in the league for 10 more years. I should just bully this kid.
And he realised it.
Yeah.
And he was like, and he did. And I think everyone's just going to do that. Like, you saw Grant Williams on opening night against Wemby, where he's just like, I'm going to like physically hurt you, and then I'm going to box you out with my face looking towards you. It's like, you're just going to get that because people are like, sweet, finally someone I can pick on because I'm over the age of 25 and I can start doing that now.
Yeah. Also, he's 10 years older, JB. 3,500 more lunches.
All right, should we move on?
Should we refill these?
Oh, you want to take a break?
Because they're also in the freezer.
Yeah.
Why are they going to explode?
Then, how about we hit the P button?
Let's hit the, I guess it's just stop. Stop or pause or just hit the record button.
This episode of The Deep 2 is presented by Gelateria Bico, the official gelato of The Deep 2. Gelateria Bico, handmade gelato in the heart of Brunswick.
You want to talk WNBA? Maybe some WNBL? Australian Opals chat? Heck, even dabble in some EuroLeague? Find the W Basketball Show on the Deep 2 Podcast Network. We are back from refilling the beers. I was telling Sean about this before the podcast started. We've got some Filter XPAs. One of the best beers of the current day. And I was telling Sean about this. My mum's partner has a theory. I don't know what it is verbatim, but the essence of it is the sign of a bad beer is that it can only be drunk cold, which like actually might be the worst take of all time. Like that it's up there. Other than like being pro Hitler or something, I feel like there are a few that kind of take the cake. But like, is that not one of that's got to be it's up there for like worst take.
Yeah, like warm beer sucks.
Yeah,
and I don't want to go for it.
Yeah,
and when you said that, what's an hour ago? Have we been recording for an hour?
We're at about 45 right now.
When you said that, I was just trying to rack my brain about a good warm beer that I've had.
Yeah,
and like maybe it's one of the yeasty contraptions, like a Vic Bit, a little bit of Victoria Beckons, vomit bombs, vaginal backwash. But nah.
I'm fully with you.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, these are in the freezer, and I was actually a bit worried they were going to get too cold. But like, imagine getting this and being like, got anything of the warmer back there?
Anything of the warmer variety. Imagine being like, what would 10 seconds in the microwave do to this? Would it kill it, or can I still have it? We'll change the Spotify question for this episode to say, what's a beer that tastes nice warm? You know the Spotify questions that you can put?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with them. Because to get them, have you ever listened to a podcast and answered a question in the Spotify question?
Naturally, no. But
no. Let's just see if it happens.
Should we start? I should have maybe done that with the W episodes. Being like, how many games do you reckon the team will win this year or something?
Yeah, that'd be good. But you have to ask at the start of the pod.
Oh, true.
Because listenership drops off, so you'd have to...
Mine goes the other way.
Yeah, people skip forwards. Yeah. Well, Kayla George is at minute 15. She's also at minute 1, but that's all right. That's a great segue. That's a great little CP.
Yeah.
A little bit of cross promotion.
Yeah.
Kayla George episode. Really liked it.
Did we not introduce that?
No, I feel like we forgot. Did we?
Oh my god, no, we didn't.
About the Jave.
Because we talked about bloody... no, because we didn't introduce the Jave either. We talked about Bunnings and Varnish and stuff.
Yeah, we've got it written down here, but
should we do a little bit of CP then?
Yeah, and then after that we'll talk about CP.
Oh, not bad at all. So, we had 2 other episodes, podcast episodes come out this week. We had a bloody content week. We had to push stuff back to the weekend. I mean, what a fucking embarrassment of riches. JVG, which we touched on. Me and Marco hit the mics with Angus, did way too early hot takes. I would say this was our best edition. I think these are our best takes, while also being legible. I feel like in the past we've had some fucking wild ones. And then I got to interview Kayla George, which was like so epic, man. She's really good to talk to, and like one of Australia's most important basketball players right now. And I think that maybe that's not the most it's not really in people's faces yet, but I think next Olympics it will be. And I'll be looking back at this like, what the fuck, I got to talk to her, I got to have a 30-minute conversation with her 2 weeks after she won a WNBA title as a starter, like what the hell.
And she just seems like so like down to earth. And also listen to the episode to find this all yourself. She seems very down to earth, but she just seems like she's got a hectic life. Like she was in Las Vegas 2 weeks ago, and I'm sure she stayed in Las Vegas for the party, and then it's just come down. Now she's one of the late arrivals to camp to get ready for the WNBL season. Pretty fucking hectic. And also she was talking about having a kid, and then she would like have some of her best games after 4 hours sleep. if I have 4 hours sleep, I have a bad Monday night domestic basketball game.
Yeah.
And she's fucking doing that in a professional league.
Yeah, I remember at the World Cup. Remember that China game?
Yeah.
It was like the most hairs standing up on the back of your neck type beat. Just roaring China fans. Australia lost 62-60 or something. It was a 2-point loss, and such an emotional game. And then the players came down through the tunnel, and I was like, nah. This is the first event I ever covered. I was like, I'm not fucking asking any questions after that game. Yeah. And then Kayla got asked a question about just the game and the energy in the arena more generally. And she gave this answer isn't it amazing how good basketball is in Australia, and how much of a crowd we can bring to an Opals game and how much passion was brought. Anyone else, they're just ripping up the tunnel. They're no questions, get out of my way. And just after taking that loss, you definitely haven't absorbed it. You're still processing it at that time. Yeah. And she gave such a considered response, and she was there answering questions for 10 minutes. And it was she's just an awesome person, and I feel pretty grateful that I got to talk to her.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking about one CG, let's move on to CP. Chris Paul and the kids, new face, cold place, other places. Full 360.
180.
Yeah, 180. And then I feel like my little speedometer is just going up and down on the 180 because I'm so fucking into this. And I know every time I say something, every time I fucking smile at a player, every single time I write something, I know Dante's just you're a real motherfucker for this, Because A, you're fucking just completely going back on your takes and just hating Chris Paul forever. And B, why is everything good happening to the Golden State Warriors? But let me just show you a little image that's in my little post bin for my next Instagram post.
Oh, yeah?
What's that? Another win. Warriors Twitter is just being so fucking smug right now because we're killing it. Because Steph Curry sits, and we know that when Steph Curry stands up, we're winning the basketball game. But he has to sit because he just gets exhausted because he does it all season. But then Chris Paul comes in. Chris Paul, Darius Saric, got the 1 and the 5. Just two cerebral players that know how to operate anywhere on the court and can pass the ball to anyone. And then you've got JK, what do you call him? TMG Minga.
TMG Mings.
Moses Moody is looking really good. He's very erratic at the moment. He'll have a 0 for 2 game, but then he'll have a 10-point game the next game.
But I feel like his impact isn't measured by points.
Yeah,
but,
definitely. And I feel like he gets yelled at a lot by the vets, but that's all right. And Gary Payton, just 3 of the most athletic, fast, fun shooting players you can have. Jonathan Kuminga hasn't had the leap that I might have thought he was going to have. He's not averaging 20 points off the bench. He's not pushing Draymond for the starting role. But when he's out there, he's making a positive impact. He's hitting his shots. And he's just getting put in the best possible situations by Chris Paul. And it's so good because and the commentators are just losing their shit. All the Warriors pods I listen to are like, oh my God, guess what, guys? Steph Curry sat again. And it's he comes in at 6:30. And before the season, remember I was like, fuck, the world's going to explode if Steph Curry doesn't check in before the 6-minute 30 mark in the fourth quarter. But now it's he's checking in, and it's look, can we let these guys run a little bit more because their time's going to run out, and we just want Gary Payton to keep sprinting. Gary Payton, playing full court, whether it's Devin Booker or whether it's Malik Monk or whether it's Kevin Huerter, he's playing a fucking full court press on you, and it's so cool to see. It's so good to see. It's getting to the point where it's just this second unit is doing wonders, and then all of a sudden, Steph checks in and he's great, and Steph and Draymond and Kevon Looney can sub out for whichever one of those 3 wings it is as well. But it's getting to the point where it's Klay Thompson has been bad for a couple of years now, and he still continued to be bad. Maybe there's one of those Chris Paul and the kids guys that can step in and take that role. But this isn't a Clay slag off pod. This is the Chris Paul role. And what are your thoughts on watching Chris Paul just commandeer a second unit? He started 1,945 games, an NBA record for consecutive starts. And then he came off the bench, and do you know how he said? You know what he said? When Steve Kerr...
What did he say?
Well, Steve Kerr came up and said, hey, look, we're going to need you to come off the bench because Draymond's back and we're putting Draymond to the starting role. And apparently he nodded. He said, yep, let's go get him. And all the memories of David Lee rush back. All the memories of Andre Iguodala rock back. Fuck, it's just so good. Warriors are winning. We're doing great things. The year we won our title, we were 9-1 at one point.
After 10 games, I would assume.
Well, that's exactly the point. And what, we're 4-1 now.
4-1 right now, yeah. I didn't know it was going to be this good, but like I feel like it was obviously going to be good. Mm-hmm. Like the trade was from a team building and behind the scenes point of view. It was a yikes to go from like the age column from Jordan. Sorry, sort by age. Jordan Poole's at the bottom of that list. Chris Paul comes in and he's at the top of that list, and you lose 13 years or whatever, and then you add 15 million. And that looks really bad, but like this could be your last dance.
Yeah.
And Chris Paul has just been perfect for that. I didn't think that the second unit would be so threatening, and it is. Yeah. I thought that the second unit would just be like better than your opponents, probably every night, but not to the point where you were like building on a lead or creating more of a headache, just from like a keeping the pace sort of thing. But yeah, I think it's been better than... And like I would say from like probably the pod boys, I would probably have been the hottest on this.
Yeah.
But even I didn't expect this.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably exceeding everyone's expectations.
And like, Warriors exceptionalism, but Trace Jackson-Davies is getting like...
Where did he come from? This generation's James Michael McAdoo.
But he's just getting like the best tutelage ever. Like he's got Kevon Looney and Draymond Green to say, "Hey, this is how you put your hands up and don't foul." And then he's got Dario Saric to be like, "This is how you like be a coach's worst nightmare, but also make a cool pass every now and again."
Yeah.
And he's probably not going to play this season, and he's going to do like wonders for Santa Cruz. But then Brandon Podziemski, like he came in the other day because we were down Klay Thompson, so Moses Moody went into the starting lineup, so Pods came off the bench. He was the guard off the bench. And like he's got some of the sexiest stat lines ever. I think he had like 3, 8, 3, and 1 turnover. He's just a great passer who never makes any mistakes at all. It's all gone well. Like there was even a thing where it's like someone said, "Oh, what's it been like, Chris? Being with the Warriors on the road? Like obviously." Everyone talked about how he used to be a Warriors enemy, but now he's part of the team. And he's like, "Man, I've never gone out for this many team dinners with any team before. This team just like loves fucking eating together, and everyone becomes like best friends and stuff." And it's like, why aren't more teams doing that? It just seems like the right thing to do. Like you're a multi-millionaire sports player, go out for a beer, you fucking idiots. It's Tuesday and you're on the road. But yeah, just Chris Paul just being like, "I've never been in a situation like this," and it's like. Yeah, man, you've never won a title. Has he ever had like exceptional chemistry? And maybe he hasn't with the Clippers and then the Rockets.
I don't know. There were always those I feel like that Clippers team was never a report that they loved each other.
It was always like we need to trade for a small forward and we're going to break up eventually.
Yeah, we got to get rid of someone. Yeah. We have to shake this up somehow. Your season so far, you've had 2 wins against the Kings, 1 at home, 1 away, and that kind of takes the pressure off that series for the rest of the season, which I feel like kind of
good playoff battle. Like, we'll be fighting for 4-5 with them. Yeah, and kind of is a litmus test for you guys because they're like the most opposite and the most similar team to you guys. Yeah. Then you had that that Rockets game. Neither of those 2 teams should have won. Yeah.
But like, it just kind of showed like. You guys can just win a game regardless. Just as long as you're in a game, you'll be able to win it. And then that Pelicans game, you're like, we can put a team away.
Yeah.
And you've kind of had all the different sorts of wins that you're going to need to have as a contender. That Suns L probably.
I mean, Devin Booker's only game.
They played really well.
Yeah.
You guys played. Okay, weren't the most efficient, but you guys have had a really good young season.
Yeah,
I just want to say all this talk about the Warriors needing a big defensive center. Are we not over that? Are we not past that?
Who said that? I've never said that.
No, not you. I'm saying
generally.
Consensus. There's a consensus. It's like, have they not proved that you clearly don't need that?
Yeah.
If you just focus on your own game, causing your own mismatches and your own headaches. And Draymond said it on the bench when he was being interviewed during the Suns game. He was like, you got Embiid and Jokic, you got to worry about them. And then everyone else you kind of just deal with.
Yeah.
Like, they're a team that's equipped, that's built to deal with that stuff. And, like, if they're under the Nuggets, they're under the Nuggets. But far out, man. I kind of agree with him. There's 27 teams that they feel comfortable going into the matchup.
Yeah, and like I feel like with basketball, you can do your matchups, and like Daryl Morey brought in enough switchy big men so he could specifically beat the Warriors in the playoffs when he was with Houston, right? But like at some point, if you get to the Western Conference Finals and you're one of the 4 remaining teams, like you've got a shot to win it, because what you're doing on offense and defense works because of who you are, not because you had a great matchup run, right? Maybe hold that point for the Atlanta Hawks when they verse the Bucks in 2021. But it's just also like a lot of veteran leadership on this team. And like I know that's super cringe to say, but like Steph Curry's never been a very vocal leader. It's always been Draymond, and there was a few, again, listening to a lot of Warriors pods, they were saying, Draymond's voice is getting a little bit stale. Steve Kerr had the rumblings where he's like, coaches can only coach for like 7 years or something. Like him, Jurgen Klopp and Bill Belichick all like hold hands and go off to coaching heaven together. But it's nice to have someone other than Draymond yell at people, because like Draymond yelled at Moses Moody today, and in the past couple of years when Draymond has yelled at the young guys, like Jonathan Kuminga was very pissed off, requested a trade from the Warriors if he didn't get a bigger role. Jordan Poole, obviously, he got punched in the face, but like he never really like listened / cared on defense. And then you've got Chris Paul, who's yelling back at Draymond, and not really yelling, like they're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Chris Paul's bringing in Steph Curry because Chris Paul's had a few turnovers where he's tried to get it to Steph Curry, and you can see Steph will be dribbling down, and he's actively said, like, get out of my way, Chris, like, I need to have this play. And then today against the Kings, Steph waved him away, said, I need to have this play, and then he dribbled into a double, and then he swung it to where Chris was supposed to be, and it was stolen by Keegan Murray. And then the next time out, which I think was like immediately after, like Steph went up to him and they were both just talking, and Chris Paul's like, where do you want me? And you can see him pointing at the floor. Those two are just talking, and it's a little bit like last time we won a title, we had Andre Iguodala as like an active member of the basketball court, and there's that famous clip in the NBA finals where Andrew Wiggins is having the run of his life, but Steph Curry and Andre Iguodala are like, get over here, and they just fucking tell him off. That's like, you've completely fucked up the coverage of Jaylen Brown or whatever it is. And he's like banging his hands saying, what the fuck are you doing? And it's like, hold on a minute, this dude's averaging 25 and shooting 50% from 3. But they're still telling him what to do. And Steve Kerr loves that. I mean, like, as a dude who likes to not work as well, but Steve Kerr loves just having like these 3 guys are just figuring it out on the court, and they're telling the other players what to do. And it's just, I know I'm just fucking reading the Warriors press release, institutional knowledge. I'm feeling pretty good. And at the start of the season, I sent that big message into the group. I'm like, I don't know if we win a title, but if health all going right, I like our odds more than I did when we were 0-0 at us winning a title. Do you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. And we should move off the Warriors because we haven't been talking about them for a while. But just quickly, do you feel like points might be an issue? Putting up points might be an issue for this team.
It's yes, and we need Clay to do more.
But I don't think he's the answer.
Well, he has to be the answer. If he isn't, then yeah, we don't win a title. But like Jonathan Kuminga's not coming in and averaging 20, right?
Yeah.
Chris Paul's happy averaging 2 and 8.
Yeah.
Clay needs to score more. Like Andrew Wiggins is going to be who Andrew Wiggins is. He can't do any more, right? Clay needs to get back to being a dude who can average 20 points.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, we don't win a title.
So I'm glad you brought up the Kuminga point because I got his shot chart up. Of his 4 games this year, how many field goals do you think he's made?
Of his 4 games, how many field goals has he made? Per game or total?
Total. You can give me the per game and we can times it by 4.
I'm going to say he's made 4 a game.
Oh yeah, he has 16. How many of those have been outside?
That's 2 for 2 on the trivia.
How many of those have been outside the key?
The key?
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
What?
So
that's sick. I'm so good at this.
But my point is that with Draymond and Chris Paul, you're going to have a lot of key baskets in the key, backdoor cuts. Andrew Wiggins goes to set a down screen, slips it. You've seen that however many times. Kuminga can do that offensively, sure, but so can anyone. And he doesn't really provide anything else to the team. So, yeah, I think that'd be my only concern for the Warriors is getting baskets.
More shooting.
Shot creation.
Yeah, more shooting. And like, is there a Clay trade where we can get Buddy Hield that can defend? I don't know. And it's not going to happen. We need more shooting, and we'll see what happens in the buyout market. Like, if there's another Marco Bellinelli out there.
Brandon Jennings.
Yeah, someone like that. I mean, I just don't think there is. So we'd have to wait for... Would have to wait for Moses Moody or Klay Thompson to start hitting a lot of shots. Even if let's say Gordon Hayward gets waived, we can't afford him because we're over the second apron, which means we can't sign a dude who's getting paid more, who was bought out getting paid more than the mid-level exception.
Yeah.
So out of the list of dudes who are getting paid more than the mid-level exception, that can come into the Golden State Warriors and hit shots better than us, like Klay Thompson or Moses Moody.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist. That person makes $20 million a year. Like Joe Harris makes $18 million a year or whatever.
But even Joe Harris isn't getting a bucket. He's catching and shooting.
Yeah, but is that... Yeah, like that's... You're definitely putting a temper on my fucking run. Thank you. But I think everything else is going great. Look, if we just keep winning games and doing everything right everywhere else... Hopefully Clay can hit shots in a happy ecosystem. It's not like we're down and we're like, Clay, we need you to score. It's like we're up and we need Clay to score if we want to win a title. Right now, we're just going to be the most fun first-round playoff series.
Yeah.
Should we move on to news?
Should we just do a quick little check-in how Nick Nurse is trying to do things for Philly?
I know you want to talk about Nick Nurse in Philly, so keep going.
I really like the fit in Philly. I think that he's got the team playing really high defensively. He's got Embiid up to the level of the screen, and fucking hell, he's so good.
That's where he should have been.
The whole time.
But also, can he fucking roll on offense?
Nah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Foot injuries, yeah.
He won't. Like, he's 30 this year. He won't this season.
No, he's not. He's 28.
This season he's 30.
Jog in bed.
Yeah.
What?
Before the playoffs. Well, before the playoffs.
I believe you.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's just not going to do that. But he looks really good. I didn't realise he was such... I always thought he was a very overrated defender. Which I feel like I was right in saying that. And he looks great when he comes up to the level. And like the rest of the team comes up to the level. This is maybe why I like Covington coming in, because he can do that. And he can use his length. And even still, I feel like he's probably quicker on his feet than Batum. I really like the way they're going defensively. Offensively, it's okay. I don't really think it's too like revolutionary or too different to what Doc was doing, but I like what he's done with them defensively, and it kind of feels like he's giving the team as they're currently constructed the best shot. I feel like Doc had his own limitations. Brett Brown had massive limitations. Brett Brown didn't know how to run an offense. That's a bit harsh, but like way too many Embiid Redick handoffs. Like you have 5 basketball players. One of them is Jimmy Butler. One of them's Ben Simmons before he shit himself. Yeah, maybe get an off-ball screen or something. You trust Nick Nurse to put his players in the best possible situation to succeed. Unfortunately, that situation might be Tyrese Maxey playing 42 minutes a game. Yeah. And now that James Harden is definitely gone, Tyrese Maxey struggles to pass the ball at a really high level, and there's been some decisions where he like goes for a shot and it's like, I don't know, you had a wide open dude right there, and that's a problem. And I don't think it's going to get corrected by saying, oh, we actually don't have any other scorers now. The dude who was like, going to clubs during training camp but could actually average 25 points, now he's definitely gone. So Tyrese Maxey, can you shoot more? I think that's great. I think Tyrese Maxey's good at doing that. But yeah, they need a passer. They need a point guard. Tyrese Maxey is an undersized shooting guard. But I think just like if the plan is go to free agency and sign whoever it is or trade for Zach LaVine type, if that's the plan,
this season's going to be fine. I think they're a second round exit, but Tyrese Maxey is going to average 28 points. He's going to still be the fastest guard in the world. And I think Nick Nurse is going to put them in the best position to succeed, but I think it's going to be the roster's fault, not the coach's fault. Yeah. As it's been in the past.
Yeah. Maxey 6 assists per game, 112 per as well. It's pretty good. But it's not like, and I agree with you though. Like it's not.
It's not like he's not coming off his right hand on a pick and roll and swinging it to the corner. Like he's not passing guys open before they've hit the spot. Yeah. It's like, okay, I've driven. I've got a dude on me. I'm going to pass it to B-Ball Paul, who's right under the rim. Yeah, it's very cut and dry as it is, and I think that might have even been the knock of him coming out of Kentucky. It's like, okay, he's a shooter who only looks to score, and he's fucking great at doing that. And I don't want to knock him, and I think he's like the favourite to win Most Improved Player, even though he averaged 22 or whatever it was last season. And he's gotten better at shooting. He's been able to shoot off step backs, but they just need someone to, like, if Ricky Rubio could, like, because he's away from the Cavs right now for mental health reasons, but if you could maybe like bring him back and then wind the clock back a bit, like Ricky Rubio would be a cool fit. Someone who just is definitely looking to pass. But
Sergio Rodriguez.
But fucking also Kelly Oubre's on the team. Like
true.
Like that's another Tyrese Maxey on the team. Joel Embiid has actively said in multiple interviews, I want to shoot over a double, I don't want to pass out of it. So it's like, okay, Tobias Harris, you have to be the willing passer.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. I feel like we can nip that in the bud right there and get on to the news of the week.
Alright, just two quick ones. First one is that Malcolm Brogdon has signed with Clutch Sports. You might know Clutch, as they're actually LeBron James' agency. They've actually had a really strong role in the power dynamics of the league. And have orchestrated a lot of trades to put a lot of their players and guys LeBron wants on LeBron's teams. But you already knew that as a valued listener of the Deep 2 NBA podcast. So how's Malcolm Brogdon going to get to the Lakers? Well, a trade with D'Angelo Russell works, full stop. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's great for the Lakers.
Oh, that's fucking incredible. And if there's an asset going back to the Trailblazers, even better for everyone.
Yeah. The Lakers, I haven't been convinced by any of their 3 wins. They really should have put the Clippers away today. Cam Reddish looks really sad to be playing basketball. And their losses have come against the Kings and the Nuggets, and I feel like that... They've won against the Suns, but no one played. And KD didn't start trying until he realised he was hot. But like that tier... There's 2 tiers above them in the West, I think. And the Clippers today didn't have... Harden, bit tongue in cheek, but like, actually no, that's a bit harsh of me. Today's win was good. They had Kawhi and PG, and Westbrook had a good game, but I don't know. It just never feels repeatable when D'Angelo Russell has a good shooting game, and it's sorry, or maybe it's more something you don't want to rely on.
Yeah.
And fucking, it's just. The team's going to also go as far as AD and LeBron take them, and I don't know how far that is. I don't know if that's further than the Warriors or the Nuggets or the Kings or the Suns or the Clippers. I don't know if those 2 can take a team that far anymore. Malcolm Brogdon would be a huge help. He would create a lot of offense, and he would guarantee you 18 points a night, whereas D'Lo doesn't guarantee you that. So that'd be an awesome move for them. But similar to the Clippers, I don't know if that's a move that makes them legit contenders.
Yeah. On the Portland Trailblazers, I was very excited to watch them at the start of the season. I think I watched their first 2 games, and since that I've been... Because, Scoot Henderson, it sucks that he has been drafted during the AI-generated images era, because have you seen the images of him shitting his pants?
Oh, yeah.
And it's this poor guy, he's a fucking rookie point guard. He's not going to be great. It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
But also, it's kind of weird that Malcolm Brogdon, who's only ever been known as a lovely person, has come in and just been like, all right, well, I'm here. I'm going to call every screen I ever want, and I'm shooting a mid-range every fucking time. And if you're Scoot, you're like, I guess 2-point guards sharing the court. I guess you're nominally, how do you pronounce that? But you're the shooting guard. I guess that's okay if you keep shooting them. And yeah, Paul Scoot's his usage is going down because Malcolm Brogdon's just I'm showcasing myself because fuck this. Do you want to move on to the next piece of news?
The next piece of news is Daryl Morey will keep a painting of James Harden on his wall from Ramona Shelburne of ESPN.
Is that Jimmy's mate? Morey said, quote, "It's one of my prized possessions."
This isn't a joke.
No, this is dead set. Yeah, so he's got a painting of James Harden just above his like living room.
Oh, that's so weird.
And I think he talked about it once because he's like, man, like this fucking dude, like he revolutionized basketball and obviously had such like big thing in my life.
And I did it all.
And then so people like pulled up the article from maybe 10 years ago and were like, oh, now that like he's traded and he said that he never wants to speak to you again and he'll never play for an organisation that you're part of, do you want to like take the fucking picture down, man? And he said no.
Yeah, I'm looking at have you seen the painting?
No. Is it like
it's a pretty nice painting.
Oh, this sound effect's going to be great because we're looking at the painting. What? That's not it.
What do you mean that's not it?
I thought it was like,
it's a pretty cool painting.
No, I was thinking it was like him dunking.
It looks a bit like Nick Kyrgios.
I thought it was him dunking. That's just like an abstract. Oh my god, it's a heat map of the 3-point line. Look, that's a basketball court.
Yeah.
I know, but why is he only going right?
Yeah.
Did he get a Joel Embiid one?
Wait. Let's get... Oh, he did.
Oh my god. And it's
Twitter.
on Twitter. Hey, you'll have to change that to X now, won't he?
This is
I think
it's a bit weird.
In my final destination, like the final place I live in.
Imagine doing this about a coworker.
Yeah. I think I'll get like a AI is going to be pretty fucking good by the time I get a house. I'd love to get like an AI artist interpretation of Anna Horford. Wouldn't that be so funny?
And it's all made. It's little pictures of a small emoji.
Yeah.
Making up her face.
No, it'll be like a hit app at the time that has then changed its name.
Maybe don't do that.
Yeah, that's shit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought this was a joke, or that at least Maury was joking about it.
Yeah. No. And yeah, these are Hamburglar socks.
Yeah, you got them from the drive-thru.
From McDo.
Yeah,
because I won my domestic basketball championship on Monday.
Yeah,
second in a row. Bottom div, represent.
Yup.
Bottom div A grade.
Yeah.
Versus a team we didn't actually think we were going to face, and we ended up winning in a thriller.
Did you think you were going to beat them?
I thought we were going to beat the team we were supposed to face, and then when I saw these guys, I'm like, oh fuck, this is going to be a close match. Pulled away. And then we went through the drive-thru. I was with Francesca later, and I was like, well, maybe you can buy me some Hamburglar socks because I won a title.
Then it worked.
Exhibit A.
You paid for them, didn't you?
No.
How uncomfortable are they?
They're fine. It's the first time I've worn them, so...
They're very slippery though, aren't they? Because I got a pair of McDo socks a few years ago.
No, they're good. They're alright.
Oh, okay. They didn't have the best traction, mine.
Well, I'm not really going gun for socks for traction. I usually have something over the top of them, like a shoe, for example. I go for traction on the shoe. Yeah. Except this is paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
Hey, you get that in the big jobs.
That's the Birkenstock stock. That's the Birkenstock of 100,000 steps right there.
More than that.
Yeah.
There's this dude on TikTok who restores just Birkenstocks.
Oh yeah. Sure, there is.
Yeah, it's like he drills down the cork and he lays like liquid cork.
Yeah.
Resoles.
Yeah. You can get the same guy that gets you the varnish for the Birkenstocks to your bloody pool table. Your pub table.
Pub picnic. Pub/picnic.
That's beautiful.
If you search pub table on anything, it's just stools. It's like, yeah, I'd love a stool outside. I can't wait to drink on it.
Oh, it'll be so good.
I also had a dream that we got like an old CRT TV, like the big fucking stupid TVs on the wheels. And that's how we watch basketball.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, you're right. It is just stools.
Yeah.
Homely furniture, Etsy.
Yes, Etsy option. I imagine buying furniture off Etsy.
Wait, why is it all stools?
I know.
I've clearly written pub table.
Clearly these people are going to Dante Bar, not the Northcote Social Club.
You're telling me.
If you're going to Dante Bar, cross the road.
Yeah. There's many other options on High Street Northcote.
Yeah.
Alright, well, does that bring us to the end of our little soiree?
It does, Lukey. The first of many Lukey and Sean episodes of the Deep 2 NBA podcast on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your daily, weekly podcasts.
Yeah. But you know that by now.
You do.
You've made it to the end.
Yeah, you've listened to the end. Lukey, I'll speak to you next time.
Yeah, talk to you when I'm looking and seeing you.
Peace.
Bye.
The Jeff Van Gundy Tribute Show is your fortnightly dose of the lighter side of basketball, hosted by me, Marco.
And me, Lucas. We take a more laid-back approach, talking about the NBA, the WNBA, FIBA basketball, culture, whatever tickles our fancy or grinds our gears.
The show is filled with great guests, classic gags, and a healthy dose of tangents in honour of the great man himself.
The Jeff Van Gundy Tribute Show, fortnightly on the Deep 2 Podcast Network.
Loves just talking about the league, certain things like that.